the first Bible story you think of when
Jesus throwing the pigs off the cliff.
Jesus throwing the pigs off the cliff? That's someone who went to a Christian college right there. Remind me what happens in that one. Why did he do that?
Apparently the pigs were like cursed.
Oh yeah, the pigs were like demon pigs. Shut up! If you didn't grow up in church, you don't get it. Sorry, so the demon pigs. They weren't just normal pigs, they had demons in them. He had to throw them off the cliff. You guys are dicks. Okay, the pigs are demons. And so he threw them? I don't remember God ever...
He drowns them somehow.
He drowns them somehow with water, probably. He drowned them. What were the demon pigs doing? Were they just like, fuck you, we're Satan? I'm just trying to remember how he knew the pigs were possessed.
Out with another person and into the...
Oh, yes, that's what happened! Yes! I knew it! And this is what youth group is.
Now, I've always found that story to be one of the more asinine stories in the New Testament. So, what is the story that, obviously the person who was talking about it couldn't remember the full story, but somebody had to yell it out to them. So you have Jesus going to this town. People never heard of this Jesus. Jesus shows up. There's a man who's chained to a rock. They call him Legion. This man has so many demons within him that he's been breaking the chains and all these sorts of things. Just superhuman abilities. Because he got all the demons in him. I do like Legion and X-Men, though. It's a pretty cool character. But he got all these demons in him. Jesus comes and he exorcises the demons out of him. But before he does so, the demons recognize who Jesus is and say, could you please let us go into the pigs? Could you please let us go into the pigs? Because I would imagine what they're saying is that they don't want to be sent back down to Tartarus. So they want to be exorcised into these pigs. And since pigs represent the lowest caste of people in pig, the people who participate in pig husbandry represents one of the lowest caste in society at this time frame. To be thrown in pigs as demons is appropriate in justifying the way that people and pigs are treated in the Jewish community at the time frame. So yes, I'll let you go into the pigs. So Jesus gives them permission and he says, I'm going to let you go into the pigs. Isn't it interesting that Jesus is showing mercy to demons? I've always found that interesting. What do you guys think about that? Why would Jesus show mercy to demons? So anyway, he allows them to go into the pigs. So they leave the man, they go into the pigs. The pigs lose their ever-loving mind. And they run off a cliff and drown in the water. So what happened to the demons? Did the demons drown? Did the demons die? Can you kill demons by drowning them in the ocean? Well, not in the ocean, but drown them in this water while they're inside of pig bodies. So if you kill a person who got demons, do you also kill the demon? That's the question. I don't know what that bug was, but you also kill the demon. Make it make sense, because it's not making any sense. Kind of like this. Oh, that's a little bumblebee. Because it's not making any sense whatsoever. Then, I guess there's a demon in that bumblebee. But so then the next interesting part of this whole story is that the people who witnesses have been seeing that this man has been tormented all this time frame, ask Jesus to leave. Dude, you just came and done a bunch of witchcraft. We don't want to deal with your witchcraft. So could you please just leave? And Jesus is like, I bet. Now, oftentimes I use that story when I'm talking to people who are Christians and they're always on my page or they're in my face or coming onto the lives. And I'm like, you always talk about what would Jesus do? When the people didn't want to hear Jesus, Jesus just left. So why are you still here? Why are you still trying to talk to me? Look at me like one of the demons that got cast off into the pigs and went into the water, and just leave me alone. Why are you still bothering people who don't want to accept your religion? I usually use that story when I'm talking about that with some of these people who are triggered by the fact that other people don't believe in what you believe. But the story in itself makes absolutely no sense, because let's be real. If somebody was being tortured by demons for their entire life, breaking chains, and now you chain them up to a rock outside the city, and they cast the demons out, and now the person is perfectly fine, they're good to go, they're all right, they can come back and be a part of society, why wouldn't you want to listen to that person? Many pastors use that to demonstrate that even if Jesus came and demonstrated his power and who he was to people, there are certain people who wouldn't believe it. There's certain people who wouldn't follow Jesus at that point. I always thought that was a bullshit excuse, that those people didn't want to follow him simply because they were just so hardened of heart. But no, they didn't want to follow him because this man just did some witchcraft. He just cast out demons. According to the Jewish text, you don't deal with people who cast out demons, who do divination, who practice witchcraft. So for them, they could have looked upon this Jesus character as somebody who is evil, because instead of destroying the demons, he allowed the demons to go into the pigs, and the pigs ran off into the ocean. Jesus just made a poor person poorer. He just made a poor person poor. I'm already poor. I'm already the lowest caste in this society because I participate in pig husbandry. And now you just made it worse for me because my livestock, my money, the way I make my living has just ran off the cliff. And now I don't have it. And Jesus just left. He didn't say, oh, my bad. You know what? Your pigs were worth about 150 pieces of silver or 150 pieces of gold. And so I'm going to give you, your reparations for me casting the demons into the pigs, and the pigs ran off the cliff. Jesus just left a poor person poorer. Make it make sense to tell me that this is a loving person, that this is a person of justice, when you just made a poor person poorer. He did one good deed and turned around and made it into a bad deed. That's how I've always saw that story. But what do you guys think? How do you see that story? Like, share, and subscribe. And always remember, you need to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.